A $500,000 house. Not too long ago, that would have been considered luxury real estate. Now, in most major cities, that barely gets you a decent starter home. But here's the question nobody's answering honestly. Who can actually afford this in 2026? Because the math isn't just inconvenient, it's brutal. And if you're about to make the biggest financial decision of your life, you need to see the real numbers, not the numbers your real estate agent wants you to see. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to afford a $500,000 house in today's market. Not the fantasy version where everything goes perfectly, the real version with actual mortgage rates, insurance costs, property taxes, and all the hidden expenses nobody talks about. You'll learn the real income you need to qualify and actually afford the payments, why the bank's approval doesn't mean you can afford it, the upfront costs that catch first-time buyers off guard, and whether buying right now even makes sense for your situation. No sales pitch, just math. Let's get into it. Number 1, the qualification income. First, let's talk about what the bank requires. With a $500,000 house, you're looking at a typical down payment of 20%. That's $100,000 up front. We'll come back to that nightmare in a second. So you're financing $400,000. At today's average mortgage rate of around 7%, your monthly principal and interest payment comes out to roughly $2,660. But wait, that's not your actual monthly payment. That's just the mortgage. Add property taxes. In most states, you're looking at 1 to 2% of the home value annually. Let's say 1.5%. That's $7,500 a year or $625 per month. Homeowners insurance? With the way climate risks are going, expect $150 to $300 per month. Let's call it $200. And if you put down less than 20%, add PMI, private mortgage insurance, another $200 to $400 monthly. Your real monthly payment? Around $3,500 to $4,000. Now here's the rule lenders use. Your housing costs shouldn't exceed 28% of your gross monthly income. Do the math backwards, and you need to earn about $150,000 to $170,000 per year to qualify for the loan. That's gross income, before taxes. So if you're making $150K, congratulations, the bank will approve you. But here's the problem. Just because you qualify doesn't mean you can actually afford it. Number 2, the affordability gap. Let's talk about what afford really means. You're making $150,000. Sounds great, right? After federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, and Medicare, you're taking home maybe $105,000. That's about $8,750 per month. Your mortgage, taxes, and insurance eat up $3,500 of that. That leaves you $5,250 for everything else. Everything else, meaning car payment and insurance, groceries, utilities, which are higher in a house than an apartment, gas, phone, internet, student loans, credit card payments, retirement savings, emergency fund contributions, healthcare costs, maintenance and repairs on the house. Oh, and occasionally eating at a restaurant or taking a vacation without having a panic attack about money. Here's the reality. If 40% of your take-home pay is going to housing, you're what financial experts call house poor. You have the house, you just can't afford to live in it comfortably. Every unexpected expense, and houses have a lot of those, becomes a crisis. Your water heater dies? That's $1,500. Roof needs replacing? $10,000. Foundation issues? Don't even ask. The bank approved you because they get paid whether you're stressed or not. They don't care if you're eating ramen to make the mortgage. You should care. If you're finding this eye-opening, subscribe to the channel. I break down real money math like this every week. The stuff they don't teach in school and real estate agents won't tell you. Totally up to you. Number 3, the upfront cost reality. Now let's talk about that $100,000 down payment. Where does that money come from? If you're saving 20% of your $150,000 income, that's $30,000 per year. Assuming you have zero other expenses and live with your parents, it'll take you over 3 years. In reality, most people are saving maybe 10% of their income if they're disciplined. That's $15,000 per year. At that rate, you're looking at nearly 7 years to save the down payment. But wait, there's more. Closing costs, another 2 to 5% of the purchase price. That's $10,000 to $25,000 on top of your down payment. Moving costs, immediate repairs, furniture for rooms that are bigger than your apartment, lawn equipment you didn't need before, updated appliances, add another $10,000 to $20,000. So your actual upfront cost isn't $100,000. It's closer to $130,000 to $145,000. And this assumes you have perfect credit, no debt, and the market doesn't keep climbing while you're saving. Oh, and you still need 3 to 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund after all this. Because what happens if you lose your job 2 months after buying the house? Starting to see why the math is brutal? Number 4. Who actually qualifies? Let's get real about who can actually afford a $500,000 house in 2026. Scenario 1. The dual income couple. 2 professionals each making $85,000. Combined income $170,000. They've been saving aggressively for 5 years. They have the down payment, minimal debt, good credit. They can qualify. They probably can afford it. But they're still dedicating a huge chunk of their income to housing, and they're vulnerable if either loses their job. Scenario 2, the high earner. Single person making $200,000 plus, probably in tech, finance, or medicine. They can afford it comfortably, but honestly, they're probably looking at houses over $500,000 because that's starter home territory in their market. Scenario 3, the inheritance or family money. Someone making $120,000 but got $150,000 from family for the down payment. They can make the monthly payments, but they're tight. One major life change and they're in trouble. Scenario 4, the equity trader. Already owns a home, built up equity, selling and upgrading. They might put down $200,000 from their previous home, financing only $300,000. Much more manageable. Notice what all these scenarios have in common. You either need a household income of $170,000 plus, a massive windfall, or existing equity. If you're making $70,000 a year and dreaming of a $500,000 house, I'm sorry, but the math doesn't work. Not even close. So, if this kind of honest financial breakdown is useful, consider subscribing. No pressure, just know there's a lot more where this came from. Number 5. The hidden costs they don't tell you. Even if you can afford the mortgage, let's talk about what homeownership actually costs beyond the monthly payment. Maintenance. Budget 1 to 2% of home value annually. That's $5,000 to $10,000 for a $500,000 house. HOA fees. If applicable, $200 to $500 per month that you can never skip. Utilities. Expect 50 to 100% higher bills than your apartment. Heating and cooling a whole house isn't cheap. Landscaping. Either spend your weekends doing it yourself or pay someone $150 to $300 per month. Higher insurance. House insurance costs more, and if you're in a flood or fire zone, good luck. Opportunity cost. That $100,000 down payment could have been invested. At 10% annual returns, that's $10,000 per year you're giving up. Add it all up, and your $500,000 house costs you an extra $15,000 to $25,000 annually beyond the mortgage. Your $3,500 monthly payment is actually closer to $5,000 when you account for real total cost of ownership. Now recalculate what income you need. Number 6. Should you even buy right now? Reasons to wait. Interest rates are near historic highs. A 7% mortgage on $400,000 costs you almost $600,000 in interest alone over 30 years. Home prices are elevated. Many markets are still at or near peak pricing. Rent versus buy math actually favors renting in a lot of markets right now, especially when you factor in opportunity cost and flexibility. Reasons to buy. You're planning to stay in one place for 7+ years. Rents in your area are climbing faster than mortgage rates. You have the income stability and savings to handle the upfront and ongoing costs. And you understand this is a lifestyle choice, not just a financial one. The honest answer, if you're stretching to afford it, wait. If one job loss would ruin you, wait. If you're banking on appreciation to make it worth it, you're gambling, not investing. But if you have stable income, solid savings, low debt, and you want the stability of home ownership, and the math works at 30% or less of your take-home pay, then consider it. Just go in with your eyes open. So here's what I want you to do. Grab a calculator, plug in your actual numbers, your real income after taxes, the down payment you actually have saved, the monthly payment including taxes and insurance, all your other monthly expenses. Be honest, brutally honest. Does the math work? Or are you convincing yourself it'll work because you want it to work? There's no shame in realizing you're not ready yet. There's a lot of shame in bankrupting yourself because you ignored the numbers. A $500,000 house in 2026 isn't for everyone. It's for people making serious money or who've built up equity over time. If that's not you yet, focus on increasing your income, eliminating debt, and building savings. The house will still be there when you're actually ready.
Look, I get it. Everyone wants to own a home. It's the American dream, right? But the American dream updated for 2026 requires a six-figure income, a massive down payment, and a stomach for financial risk. If you have those things, great. Run the numbers and make an informed choice. If you don't, that's okay too. Build your financial foundation first. The right time will come. Just don't let a bank approval convince you that you can afford something you can't. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. Look, I get it. Everyone wants to own a home. It's the American dream, right? But the American dream updated for 2026 requires a six-figure income, a massive down payment, and a stomach for financial risk. If you have those things, great. Run the numbers and make an informed choice. If you don't, that's okay too. Build your financial foundation first. The right time will come. Just don't let a bank approval convince you that you can afford something you can't. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.